Hey, what's up everybody? John from Old Reading Farm here. Thanks for joining us today. In today's video, we are going to go through a very important and frequently asked question. Do you make any money on your homestead or small farm? Short answer, absolutely not. Well, sort of. Let's get into it. So before I get into anything today, I just wanted to remind you all that we are having a live giveaway on our channel this Wednesday, February 3rd at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We hit 2,000 subscribers recently and we are really appreciative of that, so we want to thank you by doing a quick little giveaway. We're also doing a 1,000 follower giveaway on our Instagram page, and we're teaming up with Sweet Pea Farm in New York. So you can head to our Instagram page, look for the post from a few days ago that says 1K follower giveaway, and all the instructions are there, and make sure you check out Sweet Pea Farm on the way. Let's get to it. Alright everybody, so this video is going to be a really real video that looks at our expenses, our costs of running our small tiny little farm here, and what little profit, if any, we actually made. So I'm going to first go through a spreadsheet that shows what our costs were from last year. Okay. So you can see we have our spreadsheet broken down by vendor, category, and amount that we cost. So as you can see, there are a lot of expenses. So one of the main things that I wanted to do going into 2021 was sort of revamp our accounting system. So I'll show you what we're using now. But basically, we just saved all of our receipts over the past year. And then, you know, one night when I couldn't sleep, I stayed up for a couple hours and went through all of our receipts and tagged them this way. The categories that we have, you know, I have alpaca feed, alpaca fiber, processing, which was the cost of having our alpaca fiber cleaned, carded, and spun into yarn, the shearing, and then supplies, so for things like feed buckets, or the water trough that they have, the water de-icer, all that kind of thing goes into supplies. And I have everything broken down so I can actually see how much stuff cost. This is what our process looked like for last year. Going forward, we're using a different system, which again, I will show you later. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of the numbers. Okay, so this is our total expenses for last year. So we spent a load of money, so over $13,000. Now, the important thing for us is we don't like spending a lot of money. So if you watched any of our videos, we like doing stuff for free. You know, we just built a chicken coop completely free. And the reason we do that is so that we have the money to spend on stuff like this. Because, you know, we can't make our own chicken feed at a in a cost-effective way. So we have to rely on like Tractor Supply or Agway to provide our feed. So, you know, that's a necessary expense that we can't really do anything about at the moment. So, you know, we try to cut costs wherever else we can. The other thing is we did not take on any debt to do any of this. 4 years ago, before we got married, we started, well actually it was right when we got married, we really kicked it into high gears. We started doing the Dave Ramsey debt snowball plan, and we paid off a tremendous amount of debt over the course of 2 years, and that has been an extremely helpful process for us. You know, getting rid of debt is a good thing because, you know, we don't like to be beholden to anybody. We want our money to be our money. So all of this money that you see here that we spent was spent cash, and you know, a lot of this was infrastructure, a lot of it was planning. So you can see, let me go back over here real quick. So look at all of this money that we spent on just mulch and soil, and that includes, you know, potting mix for starting seedlings, and also mulch and compost for setting up our raised beds. But you know, those beds are now set up, so we may need to amend it with a little bit more compost, but our expenses this year won't be nearly as high. We spent a lot of money on seeds and plants, but this big order right here you can see from Hartman's Plant Company, $2,600, which is a significant amount. That was for like our blueberries and we also spent on raspberries. So, you know, that's a one-time cost where next year we're not going to need to spend this much money. So our costs here are high because we are just starting out. But again, not taking any debt. So we're just going into it. You know, that's money that's out the door, but we're hoping to make it back in the future. So now we're going to look at how much we made from what we sold. So basically, our biggest producer was eggs, which was $4,544, which I don't know how that's possible because we sold them in $5 increments. So somebody must have given us $4 at one point, which I think I do remember happening. Clearly, our biggest producer was eggs. And I'll show you, like, I'll get into the actual, you know, revenue next. Flowers, I was actually very happy with $1,100 for our flowers, because if we did 1172 divided by 5, and now we did do several larger bouquets, but not a ton. But so that's basically 235 flower arrangements sold last year, that's pretty good. You know, I think that's a heck of a lot more than we did last year. So also, this was our means of keeping track of everything last year. Not ideal. So you can see, this is sort of how we kept track of what we sold. So when I went back to, you know, categorize all this stuff, it was a little difficult. You know, so like, what does all this mean? Yeah. So that's why as soon as the new year hit, I decided to take a more organized approach to our finances for the farm, so that we don't have that sort of problem. So next year we can look back and we can say, oh, okay, so we made, you know, this much money from this, and it cost this much, you know, maybe we should cut back in this department. It'll just help give us an idea of what we need to do in terms of finance. But anyway, so seedlings, $620, which I think is off. I think we made more than that, but this is what I had written down, so that's what I'm going with. I'm pretty sure that we made closer to $1,000, though. We did really well with the seedlings. Alpaca fiber, we made a whopping $270 from, which I guess is more money than our dogs made us this year. And our dogs are probably the most expensive thing on the farm. And then 305 from livestock, which again were chickens, because we only sold chickens last year, and chicks. So we are looking to expand that area this year. Also, I don't know if there's a hum that you can hear behind me, or you may get a beep when I'm recording this, but we have 2 incubators running. One of them is actually waiting for emu eggs, which Catherine is out picking up now, so very excited about that. All right, so now that we got that, let's get into the real numbers here. So breaking down 4 categories: chickens, which includes eggs and chicks and pullets; alpacas, which was just fiber; bees, which didn't do much, but hopefully next year they will; and then plants includes seedlings and flowers. So overall, our expenses last year for the chickens, which includes bedding, feed, everything, was $1,876.32. Overall, we sold $4,849 worth of chicken products. Again, that's eggs, pullets, chicks. So we ended up with a profit of over $2,900. So that's a pretty good markup. So if I were you, if you were looking to make money on your homestead or small farm, I think chickens are the way to go. They are, in general, a much lower cost, and they are a higher profit. Alpacas cost us $2,500, and we made $270 from them, so we had a net profit of negative $2,200. So that was not great. Bees are super expensive up front and pretty much continually throughout their life cycle. And since it was their first season, we got nothing from them, so they only cost us money, which again, hopefully next year they'll overwinter. We had 3 hives. One of them sadly died. Not sure what happened. but we have 2 that we have insulated, and hopefully we'll make it through the winter, and then we'll be able to process honey from them next year. So hopefully they will start making us money. And again, this last year we first started with the bees, so there's a lot of upfront costs getting the hives, getting the frames, getting all that stuff. By the way, we are affiliates with Hoover Hives and Galena Farms. So if you want to check them out, we have an affiliate link in our description down below. We get a small commission if you purchase using that link. So if you're looking for beekeeping supplies, I would suggest you do that. We would appreciate it. And we use all the Hoover Hive stuff, so it's not like it's not something that we don't use. We use it, and it is very nice. The last item is plants. So that we spent $6,600 on, and we made $1,792. Again, I think that number is higher because of the seedlings. I think we sold a lot more than that. Even so, it's probably closer to $2,000. So we did not make a profit on those. But again, like a big chunk of that were raspberries and blueberries that hopefully next year we will have, you know, we don't have that big $3,000 expense, which was almost half of our total plant budget. And you know, hopefully that'll turn around. I don't think it's going to turn into a $3,000 profit monster, but you know, if it adds $500, $600, $700 to it next year, you know, that's a big swing. So that's the plan there. You know, I think the overall thing is we're looking to maybe make some money in the future, and I think the overall theme for how expensive it was for us last year was you know, we're making an investment in our future. So making an investment in the bees, an investment in the alpacas, now we're making investments in the chickens, you know, and so that next year it's going to be lower cost, and hopefully we sell more so that we should make more money. But so overall, so we spent over $13,000, and we made almost $7,000. So in terms of total cost for last year doing our farm thing, it cost us $6,000 or so. You know, plus or minus. That's John math. But you know, so that comes out to about $500 a month that we spent last year to, you know, do our garden and all that kind of stuff. And I think, you know, there's a lot of people out there who have more expensive hobbies than that. You know, I think my motorcycle cost a lot more than that, and I can't even use it right now. So not that we're at planting stuff, but you know, I think it's more about offsetting the cost of your hobby than it is about making a ton of money. You know, we got to meet a lot of people last year. We got to be a part of our community, which we loved. And again, offset the costs of our hobby. You know, we love having alpacas. We love having chickens. You know, if we didn't sell any eggs, it just would have cost us $2,000 last year to have chickens. But you know, if we only had chickens, we would have made $3,000. But anyway, you know, overall, it's like just supporting our hobby. You know, how often can you have a hobby that pays you back? So that's sort of how we look at it. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what we are using this year to track our expenses and finances. So I'm using this program called Wave. We are not affiliated with them in any way, just getting that out there. But so they are a free accounting software that's all online. And the thing I like about them, so you can just take a picture of your receipt and have it show up in here. So that's a great way. So in case you lose a receipt, you know, you have a record of it in here, and it'll show you, you know, what you've spent, and you can add in transactions for sales. As you can see, we are already negative this year, but we bought a giant incubator, and we are going to run some emu eggs through that, and then, you know, we are going to run some other incubators. I think our electric bill is going to go through the roof. But anyway, so yeah, so Wave is great. It's a little non-intuitive to use, but I basically right now I'm only using this transactions section here. And again, that's just to keep track of all of our receipts and expenditures and sales. It just makes more sense that way. So it's not super easy to use, but if you're looking for something that's more organized than an Excel spreadsheet and a giant folder filled with old receipts, this is definitely a good way of doing it. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. You guys, I really appreciate it. Please let us know if you have any questions in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer them. If you have any suggestions on how to lower costs, let us know. If you have any suggestions on free accounting software, let us know. Let's talk about it. You can find us on Instagram at Old Reading Farm. You can also find us on the web at oldreadingfarm.com. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. We'd appreciate it. Again, give us a like, leave us a comment, let us know what you think. And as always, thanks for stopping by. See you next time.